Lerato, I'm Gogo Kandalembube. Hey, what an eventful Saturday. So I couldn't decide on what our class is going to be because I promised to finish up the Nzuza spirits and how your children. If you guys want to finish that, you can. But for the last 24 hours, because I was like, hey, I don't know what we're going to do, I saw a TikTok video on twin flames. And I remember somebody also in my life had asked me to do something on twin flames. So that's that. We're going to read the Bible and then pray. And then we're going to talk a bit. And then I hope you guys got twin flame questions. Get already twin flames and their associated connections. Lebitso la ntate la morale le moya halang, amen. Matlafatseng ka mangangajane a morara le nkgatholose ka ho mpha diapole ho barato lena le mphukudisitse ke samme tsoho la hae le letshehadi ka tsoho la hae le letona o nkupile. Amen. This is Song of Songs, chapter 2, verses 5 and 6. Okay. Arapeleng then ya rakena mo. I'm not a celebrity, I'm just a person, huh? Just a person. Let's pray. Tatarna magodimong lebitso la la letswe ho tle muswa hao thatwetse lefatsheng jole ka etswa le hodimong o re feka jone bo le kan batsa senleleng o re tshole melato rena jole ka re tshola ba re sitelwang o se re mo le komerolane ho ye mobe ho bane muso ko hao le matla le khanyela khalo jole ka sa feeling. Amen. Amen. Okay. I'm not gonna say much. For those who attended my last live, we had a bit of, conflict and some issues. I've had a few days to pray. To everybody who was here, and our sincerest apologies. I got to see the comments Kulu Mang Tau. Kupa, the people who come on our lives, we must afford them grace, right? We must afford people grace because people are going through so many problems, and sometimes, someone will say something to you, and you're not aware that this person is trying to make a verbal expression because a big part of their lives or something in their lives is blocked. So I got no idea, like, why, right? I'm gonna ask for those who can gift. I would love gifts. Everybody loves gifts. I don't know what's present. But, going forward, I'm not gonna do the dream interpretations really based off of that. And for those who are gifting, look, if you really want to be on, we'll do that. But I want to add just random people. We must add the Holy Spirit to the things that we do. I know that it's hard for you guys also because, you guys get frustrated and like, but I promise you guys, on the day, you will get that reading. You will get it. I think, she was irritated. And so was everyone else though. That's the funny part. We harvest an energy of destruction and chaos, and then we just spread it, and then things are just going to get worse every week. We're going to have crappier and crappier lives, and I don't want that for me and for you guys. So maybe it's important for me to tell you guys why I've been doing live readings. I do live readings because for many years of my life I was stuck is an understatement, right? For many years of my life I was living like a hobo. Emotionally, spiritually, I was living like a hobo. And I didn't know where you can go muthong a go thusa. I didn't know that. So this is my service back to my higher self. Initially, it started as a gift back to my ancestors because I'm forever grateful for how they've walked this journey with me. But more than anything, this is a gift to me. It's a gift to remind myself to be humble. Yeah, okay, ke a rogakana, and okay, you know, some of y'all have sent me messages. I'm going to tone it down. But it always, every live reading is not even really practice for me. It's to remember who I am. It's to remember that there was a time in my life when everything looked perfect on the outside. And I was missing this, meaning I was missing you guys. So I spent many years or I don't know you guys and that my life is very small. So I want us to always open ourselves up in that way. And to bring like a lot of love. That's the one thing that's kept me going. And Lilona, Litlabona, your answers are going to come. And this week I'm going to give you a reading for this. After 6 months, you know, I'm going to say something maybe completely different because I'll be growing as well. So yeah, I really don't want a repeat of what happened last week. I felt horrible. I want to condescend you guys just because you guys are in need. And I'm sure that's not what Makosa wanted either. I'm sure of that. Right? And I don't want you guys to ever feel condescended again. Whether it's me disrespecting you, hang up, just hang up and send a message in the comments and say, listen, I'm going to come back when you are coming together because you're disrespecting us right now. Right? Limkulu wonantusa go profita last week. I only saw the comments now. A bua ke maka. A go le tlogele mkhulu tle. Mkhulu a le stress. Kopa le tlogeleng tlogele mkhulu a le stress. I'm going to try to see if I can find him on my blocked things and just unblock him. Ke tlo le mofa nako a tlo le profita mo. A le stress. We must be open to people. Right? Yeah, batho ba tla tla ka dilo tsa bona. They are supposed to. You know, nna ke tlo fokotsega because of someone else. I get tlo fokotsega because of that. And I don't want you guys to feel diminished because of what's going on with us. And I don't want to create that culture with you guys. I want you guys to know that I love and respect you guys, not because I'm a wonderful person, but because that's what your ancestors command of me. That's the thing. Your ancestors command that, right? Hey, gogo unique when now we nedi bua last week mo no go thuntsa dimpama mo moyeng mo. Nkhulelo itse ke nne no go shota re tsetse a re gwaze mo TikTok. Nge go nontsha thipa na tlo entsha. Okay. So all right, I'm going to do a teaching on twin flames. I'm going to do a teaching on twin flames because I saw someone saying that we don't have, hi Koko Mozo, yes, we meet again. Because I heard somebody abua on TikTok, we don't do enough twin flames, and it's true, we don't. But it's largely because of how, you know, our ancestral landscape is, you know, the way that we connect Liba Dimo Barona is in a very traditional way, in a very unilateral way. So that's why the twin flames, we don't quite understand them, but I'm going to try my best, and then I want you guys to speak about that. Next week, I'm going to do, Tuesday, we're doing dream interpretation. That's that. So yeah, for those, ba ne ba utlwile botlhoko le bo gogo, wa itse keng, bo gogo ba ne re rogana le bona. Re tshwareleng, guys. Forgive us, please. Please forgive us. You know, we're not always like this. We're not always like this. Ne re kgathetse that day re tlhoka tequila. Woo! Lady Lee. Your twin flame is married somewhere. I love it. I love it. They're supposed to go like that. Okay. Twin flames in the context of African spirituality, Liba Dimbarona. What is it? What is the twin flames in our African context? Okay, we'll call them twin flames. Africa ska nkwatela hle witse keng ish nane ke feta fela ne ke se itse batho ba tlo kwata subserious. Twin flames in the African context have not been defined because our ancestors look at us unilaterally. Okay, our ancestors look at us unilaterally. They look at us as a complete, like a complete channel. To them, we are the alpha and omega of their scope of works. So what does that mean? If your ancestors were a religion, you would be the temple, you would be the church and the only muruti, and you would be the congregation, right? And because of the way that our ancestors believe in cultivating our gift, how is that? African ancestors or spirits aligned with Badimu Barona, they are so hand in hand tied with suffering, right? So we don't have a background of learning about spirituality in the absence of going through some type of suffering. We go through suffering first, be it physical, be it childhood. And because of our society also, our ancestors know that our suffering is compounded. So, you know, it's like 1,000 times worse. So that being the background, what we consider as just growing up, or as, you know, our society and our culture and how things have been, are actually suffering and pain on so many levels. And it almost becomes inherent in us. So when Badimu come through for us, it is because there is a whole scope of horrors that we have been through. All in the name of being raised, all in the name of, you know, being children, all in the name of doing what is right. Everything yarona, be it how we believe in, you know, in religion, the way thing, you go to church, you go there every week, we do it routinely. You get a hiding for eating in church. You get a few claps here and there throughout your life. We don't have a dialogue system, and our sense of even punishment towards our children is embedded in abandonment, neglect, right? And abuse. Abandonment, neglect, and ultimately abuse. The abuse is the inevitability of the neglect and the abandonment. And on the one hand, our parents don't mean to do it because it's all that that they know. And on the other end, our ancestors want to let us initiate probably in a lighter way, in an easier way. But because this is the abandonment, the abuse, the neglect is so inherent of how we have found our relationships. The relationships, Sarona, if they are with the absent, if one of these components are absent, then we don't find attraction. We don't find attraction where all three of these components are not there. So essentially, Badimo, they know, we enter the dating pool, we enter adulthood, being emotionally tattered. And what they then allow you to do is go through the spiritual gift, where now you are your own self-imposed prison warder. So before the gift, you get to the point where you are your own prison warder, right? Where the belief systems that have been forced into your life have been there for so long that you are now your own punisher, right? So for them to be able to break you out of that, you being your punisher, unfortunately, they will leave you in a situation, be it with a gobela, be it with a partner, who's going to be the worst off punisher. This person, whoever they are, is meant to come in and bring you to your knees in terms of how you experience pain. This person's job is solely to extend your pain to a level that is not almost intolerable, that is intolerable, right? The only way that they can do that is by breaking, that's the only way to break your tolerance threshold, is by allowing you to go through gruesome trauma. Gruesome, right? And that's going to be expedited by someone else, be it a situation, be it another person in a relationship. And that trauma is meant to bring you to your knees. That trauma is meant to bring you to complete standstill. It's meant to bring you into, also, it's very interesting that I was speaking about karmic contracts last week. That trauma is actually what makes the void within you very apparent to you. That trauma makes the void apparent, right? And yes, because of how we have been raised and culturalized, to experience pain and suffering as a sense of victory, Badimo then allow you to walk the journey of being your own Messiah, where now there's justification for your own pain as you go through different elements of your own pain, right? And you justify it for yourself, that you can get to your own Messiah state. What is the point of that? The point of you reaching the Messiah state is the same reason why Badimo actually want us to follow religion. They want you to realize that there is absolutely no glory in being your own Messiah or the Messiah of others, right? Because they know that in the absence of trauma, abandonment, and pain, there is no requirement for a Messiah. There is no requirement for a Messiah whatsoever, right? But because we are born into the pain, because we are born into the neglect, right? Then the need, the summoning of iDlozi or iNgelosi or isithunywa or a messianic figure, be it a Jesus, the need for that type of an energy becomes required, because considering how we have grown up, the only thing that can quote unquote save you, right, is a Messiah figure, where you are beneath this Messiah figure, and this Messiah figure comes and hands out blessings and curses, the same way that punishment, abandonment, and neglect is expedited. So actually, on the one end, when you are looking for the Messiah within you, or when you are looking for the Messiah without, what you're actually saying to your higher self, and even to iDlozi akho, is that I am in need of a scale, a balance, someone who's going to balance and validate, right, that the pain that I've endured, that I'm enduring, is worth it, right? And if that entity does not validate that pain by acknowledging that I am walking in its footsteps, then let that entity, the Messiah, validate its presence in my life, right? By taking me out of it. And in both instances, Badimo allow you to walk that journey so that you realize that there never will be such a thing. Right? You will reach your own sense of being your own Messiah, or the Messiah of your bloodline, or the Messiah of yourself. You will reach that state. Right? But you're going to realize that it is glorious only for a moment, because it is something that validates all of your past pains. And in one moment, the Messiah you validates and vindicates who you used to be, putting all of those past versions of you in context, that you feel good, that you have achieved. That is the point of a Messiah. A Messiah has an end game, right? And once you have upagamise or ukupule that Messiah in you, that moment is glorious, just like the death of Jesus. Glorious, miraculous, right? But not everlasting. Not everlasting. If there was one lesson that we could have learned as people from the death of Jesus, it was actually to not want to walk in his footsteps. It was actually to not want to walk in his footsteps, not to that point. However, the glorification of pain and trauma and neglect is what makes us resonate with that story so deeply. A person getting butchered in public is something that sounds or feels sacred to us because it speaks to the innermost butchering, innermost pains, the sacrifices, the betrayals that we have gone through, right? But here's the thing, that same Messiah, he went through that humiliation. Okay, he went through that humiliation ritual on the cross. But even that moment that he spoke about for so long was less than a few hours, as extreme and as painful as it was. And even his resurrection was physically tangible for a few hours. Right? And that's a problem with having a Messiah concept. It is relevant to you and it will put you on that high and on that pedestal for a short time. And you quickly outgrow the power of your own resurrection. You quickly also outgrow the power behind the strength, or the strength behind your self-sacrifice, but you will also outgrow the power of your own resurrection. That power, as other elements of your life start to come up, you yourself become forgetful of that power. Not because you are not in gratitude of your gift, not because you are not in gratitude of the power that is backing you and the power behind all that you've achieved in your spiritual well-being, because that is what the power of the resurrection means, right? It is the power of you having to dig yourself out of whatever hole that you came through, and you can celebrate and stand and say, I am balanced. Like I'm saying, the uncertainty now, or the unfortunate part, is that Jesus was butchered amongst other people who were butchered. Jesus was butchered amongst other people. He was not his own Messiah. He wasn't a Messiah to others when he was dying. He wasn't a Messiah to others when he was dying, because had he been a Messiah, then they wouldn't have killed him to begin with. He was some guy, some prophet who was walking around, who got unfortunately killed. That is how the two men coming from Jerusalem to Emmaus, that's how they quote, or how they relay the story of Jesus' death to him. They tell him, some guy that we had so much hope in is dead. We're shook. So how does this tie in with our twin flame journeys? Our twin flame journeys now, for this reason, make it slightly different as Black people, because twin flame connections for us Black people go from karmic to divine and back to karmic. That's how they go. And not because the individual parties of the twin flame are spiritually unaware, but because they are still going through the Messiah concept in their own lives of who they are. So these are the stages of twin flames. I hope I'm going to give this topic justice today, and then I'm going to take questions. So your first twin flame for us Black people, listen, if we could get married as virgins, they would allow that, right? So amadlozi etu, they're very shy about sexual encounters, very, right? It's one of the things maybe in our conservative society that amadlozi still believe in. If they could tell us, we must never ever sleep with anyone, listen, they would, right? A twin flame, again, one soul split into two, I don't believe that. I actually believe that twin flames are spirits, kindred energies, kindred spirits that meet at a particular time based off of their vibrational frequency. You do get twin flames between parents and children in the African context again, right? This is more common with us Black people. Badimo would rather allow a twin flame connection to be between a mother and a son, right? Or a father and a daughter. They would rather perceive it that way because they don't view the one soul splitting into two as a concept that can be exonerated or maybe pushed forward looking at two separate individuals. Why? Because those two separate individuals, according to amadlozi, have got their own ancestors, have got their own bloodlines, they've got their own msamos. So we've got a lot of ancestral, traditional, spiritual engagements within our own bloodlines, right? That would actually, if we were to look at one soul being split into two, according to the traditional ancestral spirituality, it would not be able to apply. It couldn't, because Mkulu A and Gogo B are coming. One is Tonga or Tswana, the other one is Pedi. Each of these people have got a spiritual obligation. So for us Africans, your spiritual obligation to your bloodline is what you define, is what religion or the West defines as praise and worship to God. Our spiritual obligations to our bloodlines are that's what the true Bible is. Doing things for your home, for your family, and understanding amadlozi akho and the belief systems that have brought your forefathers and eventually you to this point of spirituality. So they amadlozi won't recognize a one soul split into two. However, they can go and search. They do that. They search for a life partner that is going to suit their agenda. They're going to search for a life partner that will suit their agenda, right? And what is this contingent upon? This is contingent upon the level of amadlozi's work that you have done. That's what is going to determine who the love of your life or the partner for that some time is going to be. That's another thing. Badimo Barona don't really care for forever and ever, amen. Right? Unless all of the conditions are right. For Bona, they can tell you very easily. When I left my marriage, my ancestors were like, you were never married according to us. Kire Zhuang, because I had my lobolo and everything. I had a white wedding. And they're like, we never agreed to that. We never agreed to that yoke of yours. You are equally yoked to that person. So from day one, but you wanted it. You wanted to go through it. And I said, okay, but what is the white wedding dress and the traditional wedding? They were like, we haven't had a wedding in a long time. So they eventually said to me, my number one angel, the angel eke phagamisitseng is the angel ya all white, because ke laparetse lenyelo ile o shem. Ke laparetse a white dress. So they said to me, una lenyelo la ko St. John, that's where you're taking lenyelo la St. John. O laparetse mos wa letsa mokete. You all slaughtered la tlhaba, gwa rekiwa dinama, wa beya di flowers, wa lighta di kerese. I even had a brass band. But so you had a brass band. And I was like, what? And they were like, that was umkiti wa graduation for your angel ya white. And that's how I acquired it. And my traditional wedding, I was wearing traditional Ndebele clothing, and I was like, hey, but no, you didn't slaughter when you had your traditional wedding. It was all in one day. You didn't slaughter when you had your traditional wedding. So, umgidi wako was for iDlozi lako, lase St. John's. And then when you decided to convert iDlozi lako and wear traditional clothing, to this day, I wear my all white with my traditional Ndebele cloth. And they said to me, well, that's what you did, Mos. There was traditional beer, and I was like, yeah. And they're like, so, but according to my ancestors, because the marriage was null and void from their perspective, spiritually, it was always going to be null and void. And I remember asking them, so why then did you guys allow me to have so many children and live with my husband? They were like, no, you were telling us that marriage, according to us, you went a pehlweni, bruh. You went a pehlweni because you went to your husband's family wearing the same white dress. And then you change into isutu. So, hambile wathatha iDlozi lakho, wailole fehlela ugabo your husband. And then after that, waphakamisa iDlozi la Sotho. Go. Runa, we're not part of it. So you living with your husband, you using your husband's surname is like ukusebenzisa isibongo sempande. And they were like, that's what you get. That's why you had to go and do things the traditional Sesotho way. That is how I got my father-in-law to be umdawami. And it made sense. And they said, but they gave, he's your umdawamos, he's the one who accepted you. Runa, we never wanted that marriage. And when he died, the year that my father-in-law died is the year that I went to go and twasa. Why? Because when he got to the spirit realm, he realized that I was not meant to be in his house. So he became my Mdao spirit to help me guide and leave his son eventually one day. So my father-in-law was my Kobela for a long time, right? So, twin flames, how do they function in the African context, right? The person that you meet, that you fall in love with, that you lose your virginity to, right? The person that you lose your virginity to becomes almost like he is a divine twin flame, but he also, that man or that woman, that girl, becomes like isithunywa sasemanzini. Why? You love that person when you don't have imali. You love that person unconditionally. You've got faith and belief, and we all have pies in our skies about marrying these people. We think everything is glorious and all of that. For all of you guys, remember the person that you lost your virginity to. I kid you not, that person, their race, their culture, their personality, it's going to tell you a lot about one of your water spirits or how your water spirit functions, right? So for me, it was some Portuguese dude. And to this day, that guy, when he comes into my dreams, I know that one of my stunyas, a very powerful one, has got a message for me. Me and that guy, he lives elsewhere. Okay, we got a child. He lives elsewhere. That guy, hey Sheba, wait a minute, spicy when I wait when I was going to spicy hampi. Right? That person was your person. That person's coming into your dreams is a good omen that some prayer of yours has been heard. Umnikazi wasemanzini, again, because this is a stunya or a marine spirit, a spirit from the seas. Umnikazi wamanzi is going to come as that person as well. Right? So some of you guys will be saying, I don't know why my ex from whatever, the person whose virginity I broke and who broke mine, why are they in my dreams 10 years later? And in all the dreams, you're going to realize that there is a sense of love. There isn't that apathy and that sense of disconnection that you may feel for that person in the waking life. There isn't that. Because that person is coming as an energy, a member of your water spirits, right? That person is coming as like a bystander. This is your first, really, this is the true essence of Istunya, because this person is the spirit that has been hovering around you, right? That spirit of that person is the true essence of what could embody the Holy Spirit. So you go through this relationship with that person, right? And that person is the one who mixes together blood and water. You guys is coming together results in the coming out of blood and water, right? So automatically that person becomes connected to you in some way, even if the relationship was not great. If you got married to that person and they were toxic, we're going to talk about that just now. So that first person, no matter how they were, because you were young, they were young, no matter how they became later, they come, right? They come as a divine energy, right? For us Black people, losing your virginity is only the celebration is around the purity around virginity. That's it. That is why women who were married, being virgins, they would stand outside and whatnot, and a white sheet will be put up. That concept remains, even if you are not married to that person, right? When you lose your virginity, it's a certain rite of passage. Yes, they don't like it, that it's happening in the absence of you having security and blah, 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 blah. Yes, they don't like that. But when they look at the loss of your virginity in itself, there is that sense that you are going into a milestone of womanhood, right? And that person becomes a divine twin flame to you, whether you like it or not, right? So if you got married to that person, hey, what if a child from that process? So my child, because he is coming from me and is that twin flame, my child is a starseed, literally. I wanted to say it with my Nzuza classes, but I'm going to speak about that when I finally get around to your children and how it works, right? A children born out of wedlock, a child born when you're still young, believe it or not, that child is more likely to be your ancestral twin flame. That child is going to be your yin or your yang. right? That child is the product, the fruit of that transition into femininity or masculinity, right? That child, that's your twin flame. And if you guys think about it, that's why you all are fighting with your children that you had before marriage. You all fight with them. And but the thing is that no matter what's going on with that child seems to be energetically very much connected to the mother. Very much. That child even seems to have iDlozi sooner than the mother does, right? Or the child can communicate with the mother, right? In a spiritual way, be it through dreams or what. The child actually takes the place of their father or mother who was a water spirit, right? Yes, even if you miscarry that child takes the space of their mother or their father who was a water spirit and converts that water spirit into iDlozi, right? The moment a person is born, now, the father of the child that you were not married to was a water spirit. He was like a stunya, a marine spirit standing over there. And you all were having fun, right? But once there's a child involved, that child becomes the physical manifestation of the father's water spirit into iDlozi and the mother's pure spirit also into iDlozi. And that child even takes over spiritually, energetically, with the mom. Their relationship is the true love story. Their relationship is the true love story. And not even the child's father anymore or the child's mother anymore. Right? So now, if you didn't marry the first love of your life, sharp. He's gone. If you didn't have a child, sharp. If you had a child, you know now. Right? You got present present, right? An everlasting, more powerful hybrid version of both himself and you, right? Except this hybrid version is going to apply to your ancestry if you're the mother and you guys were not married, right? This child is like an open canvas. From your mother and father's side, the women's family. Or there are things somewhere were not opened. They are more likely going to come through with their child. Because you have created the balancing equation to yourself. My mother used to say it a lot. But my mom would leave us with our grandmother. And she would always say that we meaning we are her siblings. Like she has extended and expanded on herself. Right? And that is truly what it means. That is truly what it means. Now that guy, okay, fine, he's gone, blah, blah, blah. The second relationship is going to be a karmic or a nonsensical twin flame. Boyfriend number 2 must become that. Why? You and boyfriend number 1, right? The virgin breaker. For you guys to be able to physically part, according to iDlozi, if you guys remember I said, if it were up to them, we would lose our virginity and stay with that one person, right? For you guys to physically part, one of you guys decided that the relationship is not what they're looking for, right? Or one of you decided that the relationship or whatever, one of you guys evolved more than the other. The one who isn't evolved is going to still be deeply invested in the unconditional love, right? And the one who chooses to leave now kind of becomes the karmic because this love has been flourishing with no financial backing, with no sense of looks. So it is like now the one who's leaving is the one who ate from the fruit from the tree of the garden of good and evil. It's like suddenly now the one who's leaving suddenly realized, be it after a child or after connecting with you energetically, that now he wants to look for better. So he brings like a wound to the relationship. The one who leaves after breaking your virginity is himself wounded, but for the first time, they allow their wound to dictate the spiritual sense of who they are and the eye that they have to leave the one who's still deeply invested in the marriage because in the relationship, because they feel that it's not a marriage. That's where they are making their first mistake. The person who leaves that relationship is going to be the karmic one, according to Badim. And 99% of the time, the one who left that virginity setup, the one who left the virginity setup and decided to go to other girls or other guys, is the one who will struggle to make money. These two become their own representatives of divine love, divine masculine, divine feminine. And the one who chose to leave that setup, right, is the one whose ancestors are going to put them on a probation, because that one that chose to leave the one who was still in love has broken a what? iDlozi contract, Msamo contract. With us black people, the moment you sleep with someone, listen, manje kungena amadlozi now, kungena abadimu kamo, right? And so the one who leaves, he waives or she waives her right to be sustained by the invisible spiritual marriage. When you guys were breaking each other's virginities, spiritual marriage, it is actually treated as like a divorce, a minor divorce of some sort. Child or no child. Child or no child. Okay? So that's how that relationship ends. Eventually, the two people split, omunlomo goes to their own place, right? Second relationship for both of them are going to become karmic relationships. What is the iDlozi principle behind this? That people should just know that what you left komurahu is what you're going to find kopili. Why? Because our ancestors don't perceive beauty and attraction the way that we do. They don't, right? They perceive beauty as the power behind everyone's msamo. And 99% of the time, the first person you meet, their msamo won't be great, but they might have poverty issues, life circumstances that you can see, right? There's a clear sense of individuality and power behind what you guys believe you can see, right? So now when this dynamic breaks, both of you guys are going off to go and meet the devil of your individual msamos. Because according to Badimu Balona, you guys broke your virginity, so y'all entered a marriage. Second lover, always karmic. Second lover makes you realize that the person that you loved first, who was a bit of a fool, who was a bit of an idiot, and you and that person were trauma dumping and sharing bad life situations until you guys learned to adopt the ego and one thinking the other is better than the other, right? That's how you guys parted. The second partners are here to take you back to your foundation, to show you that no matter how much you had connected with your first boyfriend, because now you think everybody's like your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend, that you ended up umusia because you thought, Hori, you can do better. Second men, women, second partner for men and women. Second partner is a karmic. He is there to bring, or she is there to bring you down to your knees about the subtle inferiorities that you had about yourself to yourself. And how do you know that you are attracting a karmic? Or rather, what is the justification? It's because you left that first person and thought you can do better. So now you're going to do better according to your mental construct of what better is. But if you're a man, your mental construct of what better is your mom. That's the only background story you've got on what better is. You've got to really revere your mom to find a woman who is either like her because of how you perceived your mother, or if you had issues with your mother, you're going to try to find a woman who's nothing like your mother. The problem with the karmic relationship is that you are trying to find the better. So that means you're making a judgment on where you come from in life. And you've even made the conclusion that where you come from, it doesn't define you. Why do you not want to be defined by where you come from? It's because where you come from is so inferior to your conscious mind. Why? You're looking at the things of this world. You're looking at your past boyfriend or past girlfriend, Mr. or Miss Virginity, and you think, oh no, I can do better. But now you want to choose an ambitiously better relationship and not a spiritually better relationship. So by choosing your second partner, you are actually denouncing, putting down the things that make you inferior. Where do these inferiorities come from? They come from where you grew up and how you grew up. So you are using the second relationship to counteract. This guy or this girl that you've chosen in a second relationship is meant to become the quote-unquote answer. So you've already put them in a messiah-like state of your life just when you met them. Oh, and Messiah is going to make sure that you go and you hang on the cross. You go hang on the cross, right? Messiah's job is to kokotelo on that cross, pierce you on your ribs, on your side, make you drink that nyongo, right? Yes, it absolutely applies to unrequited love. It absolutely applies to that. Unrequited love is another form of abandonment. It is another form of passive aggression, right? So abandonment experienced is passive aggression. Passive aggression is abuse. It's emotional abuse, emotional manipulation. So what Messiah, you go and you fetch your Judas. You go and you find your Judas. Why? Your low family and your low first love, they've got one thing in common. You keep wanting to evolve because of your ambitions. And second relationship, that person always physically looks like what you are looking for. They always look like the perfect answer. Some people marry Mr. Number 2. Right? Because Mr. Number 2 is a love bomber. He must be all of that. Right? He must eventually become the Judas who's going to take 3 shillings to have you killed, period. And number 2, woman or man is going to study you. Why? You are already speaking out of ego. You think it's ambition. It is not. It is not. If boyfriend number 2's got money, it's because you have got an issue with financial stability from your home. And you being with him equals you being financially stable in your mind. So how we put, you're not asking yourself how Mr. Number 2 made his financial stability. Right? So if number 2 is financially like that, if number 2, these number 2s always have something aesthetically on the outside that we all feel that we deserve. Number 2 might be well educated. Number 2 might have a great job, right? He may be aesthetically pleasing, might have a great social life, right? So again, Number two, when you're coming from a home where emotional intelligence was low and you were ignored and you abandoned because everybody's working, your mom is a woman in her masculine, or your dad is a woman in his feminine, and he lets your mom do everything. Number two just looks like the flagship partner, right? They look like they are the flagship. Number two, ke boss. They come there looking like the man who's working, the man in the suit, the woman who's like this, the woman who's got big dreams, the woman who's very attractive, the woman blah, blah, blah. Right? Number two, someone is asking what happens with the child that you had with number two. Number two gives their sperm. Or number two, woman opens up their uterus as a trap. They don't have that child out of love for you or even out of love for that child. They have that child as a way to trap you. That you have got nowhere to go. Why? Number two knows that energetically, you are the one fueling his own sense of disassociation, his own sense of unrequited love that he experienced from someone else. You are basically looking after his wounds. Number two puts you as the policewoman of his prison that he has placed himself in, makes you the policewoman, right? But at the same time, he's a prisoner who holds the key, keeps banging the prison doors open when they can really just go and eat, right? And blames it on the prison warder for being abusive. Number two makes it your responsibility to become everything that they have not given their energy, time to become. Number two, he subtly or she subtly, could even be women, he or she subtly asks you to give you permission to be responsible, to be iDlozi, like to be their parent. And you, because they are giving you quote unquote what looks like it is better, you feel like you're leveling up. Number two's job is to show you that you will level up. You will level up, right? But you will endure so much. You will only realize when you are with number two that number two has been collecting the energies of men or women to be able to build their empire. Number two is a Judas, right? So number two, on the one hand, he is divine because he's giving you a lesson that's going to force you back to your msamo. A lesson that's going to force you back to who you are, right? So he comes in as a divine answer. And that's why your ancestors allow these number two karmic twin flames to happen, right? They want you to enter into that because they know it doesn't matter who to tell you and you marry Mr. Number Two. That marriage is null and void. That's all, right? They also know that in the absence of you going through severe karma, remember when I started this, I said, iDlozi, no, unfortunately, the quickest way to get you to your breaking point is to go through the worst kind of trauma. So number two's job now is twofold, right? He is a narcissist. Number two is always a narcissist. You are never going to enter into death, Gogo Tando. You are here. They know that you are here. The narcissist sometimes, or the abuser sometimes, is that key or that catalyst that you need to take ultimate, unwavering responsibility over your life. If there's anything that we learn from abusers, is for you to carry yourself and be responsible for yourself, not in context to someone else. When you met number two, you saw yourself relative to your family. When you met number one, or when you left number one, you saw yourself relative to whoever else. Number two is to make sure is there to force you to go back to being absolutely nothing but yourself. Right? So actually, it's funny that most of us, when we enter the relationship with Abu number two, they are karmic or they are divine and we are karmic, which is the funny part. They are divine, the karmics, and we are the karmics. We are toxic AF, right? We are toxic AF. And because we need a Messiah, we long concluded that we needed a Messiah. So we entered the relationship with a karmic agenda. And then number two, no, but right? All right. So number two, depending on how bad it was, normally number two, number threes, number fours, you will keep on going, right? You will keep on going. Sometimes your karmic twin flame number two breaks itself up energetically into 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 men. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? The more you keep entering a relationship where you are overgiving, right? When you enter a relationship, they can say this relationship is the one. But if you enter the relationship being karmic, you're going to overgive. You're going to overshare. You're going to need this person to validate you. You're going to call them. You're going to be that guy that dates the troubled women. You're going to be the guy that dates the troubled women. Right? And so your cycle of number twos goes. So after the physical number two is gone, if there's any traces of lessons that you still needed to learn from number two, maybe because or you are the girl or you are the guy who keeps on finding the girls that like to run the streets, and you realize and you run. And these girls come up in many different ways, looking aesthetically beautiful, always helpless. Then you must know that you're dating a number two level girl. She is karmic, right? She is divine initially, looks great because you need something. So for men also, Bomkulu's number two karmic women are the women that they want to rescue. That girl's going to take you to hell. That girl's going to take you to hell. That woman, she needs rescuing, right? She needs rescuing, and she is helpless as she stands on her own. So you, the man, that woman becomes a divine twin flame when you meet her, because it allows you to exercise your divine masculinity, your protection, your provider personality, protection provider. You become that for her. But she is karmic also. She will become karmic very quickly because she's the damsel in distress. You keep on giving. As a Mkulu, probably because your mom was in an abusive relationship with your dad, or your dad was a narcissist and you always felt you needed to provide for your mom emotionally. But this is how this girl and your mom, this is what that girl and your mom have in common. That girl will not appreciate what you have to give her the same way that your mom, after she heals her wounds, after fighting with her man, aka your dad, she goes to bed with him. So you're going to always be tossed aside. Those guys are the ones that get tossed aside. You are dating a number two girl who will toss you aside eventually, right? If she doesn't know how to leave you, she will cause fights. She will go out. Women, we just go off somewhere else. And eventually cheat. will be cheat and be cheeky. Cheat and cheeky. So abomkhulu, that's how you meet a karmic feminine. And number 2, these number 2s bogogo nabomkhulu will keep on replaying themselves over and over and over. Why? For you, the woman, the gogo, a twin flames agenda ukuya ngedlozi lakho is sense of identity, sense of belief, of faith in yourself or idlozi lakho, that you will go where you want to go in life. Your ability to be malleable, to be open to receiving new information, new things, right? And eventually, how you cultivate your sense of discipline, your stability through discipline. That's how iDlozi see a divine feminine or a divine masculine. Your ability to have discipline, stability through how you teach. So if you're a man, you must be a man. Ubaneli siriti. Siriti is ego applied, where you use your ego to place, right? Intentional, spiritual, enforce intentional, spiritual rules within your relationship, within your home. So that's what it means. Your identity as a man becomes very important yes, iDlozi do acknowledge the ego as a good thing. You must just be able to, I don't know how this works. You must just be able to apply your ego. iDlozi don't have an issue with ego, right? Ego to them is umkhulu. Ego is umdao gamkhulu. Ego is the male mdao spirit. So they've got no problem with you being a bit egocentric. Can you apply that though, whilst enforcing discipline? Does your ego inform you that you will create discipline and structure in your home? Right? Your identity now as a man is where you are the provider. Your identity as the woman is where now you are the manifester. Right? So, okay, you guys will each go through level 2, partner number 2, twin flame number 2, who goes from being divine to being karmic. And so the lessons will go. If it's been 20 women or 20 men, it makes no difference. iDlozi, I could just look at these 4 parts. If these 4 things are not present within you, their child, if you're a woman, or within you, their child, if you're a man, if these things are not all standing firm, you will keep on going dating a number 2. Number 2s will come over and over and over and over and over. That's where now your ancestors, if you're a woman, this is where the concept of being a virgin in Christ now comes from. Remember when I started, I said, if it were up to them, you'd get married as a virgin, or after them, you'd get married then. So in this space, the 20 people become like one person, but in different ways, right? Your identity, your ego-based ability to apply foundations, right? Gosh, now I forgot. Lost my chain of thought now. I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to remember. Okay? You're going to go through 20, 50 men. And until you can have your identity, your ability to use your ego to create your... who's the king? You're going to go through that. Then iDlozi akho, they just simply look at you. If you're a girl child and you're going through both number 2, maybe 100, then they say that you're a virgin in Christ. They're going to just consider number 2 by 100 as one person. If you're a man, they will consider number 2 as one person provided that you realize that you can harvest feminine energy. That's the only way that they will hold space for you. They will allow you to function as a weak or a feminine masculine or a wounded masculine, where the 100 girls that you sleep with are only that you are getting a trace of pure positive energy in the sense of admiration and love in that. So that's the only condition. If you are able to acknowledge, and that is again using your ego, if you're able to use your ego to acknowledge that you are harvesting energy from these women, and if you decide at some point to override the need for love, then nabo amadlozi akho can continue to have other, especially financial elements of your life moving. You will still be a wounded or a weak masculine, but you can create wealth. They will allow you to do that through 100, 150 women, provided you quickly come to the conclusion that you see that you are entering relationships with women that you don't love. So for a wounded masculine to survive and to build some kind of a lousy fortune, he must acknowledge that he is taking women that are weak. He's taken women that are weak, that need help, and he's going to take their energy away from them and eventually discard them. Then he capitalizes on his wounded masculine energy and takes their energy and leaves those women weaker than they were before, right? Takes that, creates a dynasty, where eventually this man's Mkulu ancestors will pause him, stop him, force him into a spiritual journey, because he has acquired materially everything that he might need to be able to now start learning how to build his emotional scale up to a divine woman. So what is the worst thing that a man can search from a divine or a karmic number two, from a number two? If you go to a number two and you love her, she's karmic, she's going to drag you to hell. If you don't love her and you use her, but you're living with her and she's got the money, then you become her bitch. So she's the karmic and she's masculine. So if a man is in love with the karmic, what he should do, which is equally wrong, or what they do, the ones that have made it, they use that woman who is karmic and they collect her energy and combine her energy with the energies of other women, and they don't actually live with her. So what constitutes a karmic feminine to a man? Karmic feminine, she is controlling, guilt tripping, wants marriage at all costs. You again become the prison warder to her own prison. You become the father that failed her, right? So she will try to replace her father's love in you, right? The more you give up yourself as a man to heal this woman, as she's running up the streets, and running the streets is not like going up at night, no, or going clubbing, no. Running the streets, you do find women who go to work and they come home and they're running the streets because being married to you, Mkulu, or being with a particular man means that this woman has some type of spiritual or energetic status. She needs these things. She needs the marriage. She needs the expensive this. And a lot of men are going to see when they're tied to a woman who puts them in debt. That's how you know that woman is karmic. This woman needs to keep up appearances. And more than anything, how your relationship with her is in private is very different to how the relationship is on the outside. This woman, whether your mom is alive or not, is not going to gel with your family. Right? She's got no incentive to. She's looking for someone to fill a gap. And she's not even prepared to pretend or beat about the bush. So those are number 2. Now, if a man wants to run around with women like that, then he is quote unquote a player. If he wants to maintain his sanity. And what is a player? A player is a man who harvests energy from weak women. And he fuels his money, his dynasty based off of women. A lot of men, I feel, are in this category because they don't know how to be divine masculine, right? Being a player also has got its own risks. Because again, but considering that you're a man, if you can disassociate from your emotions, you'll be able to build a financial dynasty, but it's going to end there, right? And you must just know that the woman who's going to be quote unquote divine feminine, the woman that you really want, right? After dating board number 2, babangata, the woman that should be your number 3, that woman is going to be 180 degrees different to the karmics either that you fell in love with. If you fell in love with karmics, financially, you don't have the money to afford Miss Divine Feminine. If you did not fall in love with karmics and you decided to harvest their energy, meaning you've created a dynasty based off of emotionally manipulating and abusing women, then you are emotionally unavailable when you meet Miss Divine Feminine and you got a problem. Because she knows herself, she's not looking for your lower self-worth and all of those, right? Twin flame number 3, for women as well. This one normally comes after you have decided you don't want anything to do with relationships, right? In between number 2 and 3, there should be like a period of a year for everybody everybody who's black. Mo uilang man. You're going to go through that period. Mo uyazila now, right? And in that time, there's going to be a lot of 2 and 3 merged personalities that will come into both your lives, both the masculine and the feminine. You will meet different twin flames that are at number 2, but mixed with number 3, right? Or that are at number 3, but still have issues from number 2, right? What is a number 3 partner, twin flame? This one is divine. This is your divine counterpart. This person is very opposite from the ruffled feathers and the luhutambula. Right? Oh, Gogompeo, no, we've got to talk about that. This one is very different. Luhutambula going up and down. This one is easy in the sense that they can let you be you. This masculine, if you're a woman, this man, if you're a woman, he's going to leave you ubuoli one, and he's just going to listen with one ear because he's also busy with doing other things. He's got a very clear sense of when it's time for him to do things. He's got a clear sense of duty and responsibility to the family, to you. He may not know about your traditional things or how things are kohalona, but he's going to support you. He's going to know here and there as you get to know him what's going on. in your life, some of your traumas, which you've healed, by the way. By the time you meet him, most of them, you've tried to heal them. You've tried to resolve them on your own. You're not going to go far if you are still in your karmic state. So were you still full of crap and all of that, you're not going to go far. Because this guy is not going to fight with you, right? He will go. He will go if you are still number 2 after leaving those many number 2s. You will lose him. When you get to number 3, your twin flame, some people say those are soulmates. Yeah, but soulmates come in many forms. Like I'm saying, at the time that you are busy uzila, there's a karmic divine twin flame soulmate thing going on there in between. And as you're waiting for that one, the ones here, they have 2 or 3 components of what you really like, right? So they might love you, they might respect you, they might be financial providers. So they might have the money, right? If you're a woman, they might have the money. They might love you, but you might find that they're having emotional issues based off of how they believe and how they see themselves. So they might need some type of a validation, and well, they are still good if you meet them like that, right? Because then you need to just give them maternal emotional support, right? They are good. Those ones, listen, but number 2 mixed with 3, those guys are fun. Those guys are a lot of fun, right? They can take you out. They can do what they can. They found their own place in the world, right? They won't be the richest guys. This is not the guy who's going to buy you a Rolls Royce, but he's going to make a bloody plan and get you flowers on Valentine's Day. These guys, number 2 and 3 merged, are wonderful. They are the lovers, right? They're going to love you, and they're in between. The only thing is that they might still look to you for emotional cues. So they might have issues, or they might want you to want them. They might want you to surround them, to make them feel that they are loved. So if you were to talk to a guy like that about the fact that, like I'm tired and I don't care, he will take it personally. He will take it personally. Right? So these ones, they're normally very good to get to learn who you are. And they also give you a sense of you learning how to give to someone else as you are. Right? And look, these guys, while we're saying the golden retrievers, blah, 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 these guys are going to take care of you. Chances that he will abuse you, very slim. But there is still that chance that he will cheat on you, because they do need emotional validation. They need it, right? And they've got certain fears, which are hidden childhood fears, right? Oh no, go. But 2 and 3. Sheba, but 2 people that are afraid of commitment, those are the gaslighters. 2 and 3, commitment. They want to look at it like from a distance, though. They are easily discouraged. They're easily discouraged. Lady Lee, I've also met a few of them. And I always, now recently I'm realizing that this means that I'm getting well. These guys, the only thing that makes them quote unquote boring is that they are easily discouraged, and they've got a lover's perspective on things. They are holistic in some way, but when it's just the 2 of you guys, they can't handle certain things. They can't handle certain things. They don't know that sometimes being disappointed is okay. Being in a difference of opinion is okay. Sometimes they overcompensate, right? And girls who are number 3, girls who are number 3, again, women, They know, firstly, they will always find a high vibrational guy. They know how to make emotional, logical decisions. Which is funny because that is what pulled number one relationship apart to begin with. So at number 3, you are kind of also learning to go back to being in a number one partner relationship, where now you want to deal with the emotional, but logically. It's okay for somebody to be who they are. All the things that you did not appreciate about number 1, when you are at number 3 as a woman, it's okay. Except a woman at number 3 also has got some form of whatever money, her own money, because she's gone through so much. She's had to learn to be hyper independent. And now coming out of number 2 and into number 3, now she's learning to love and to be open and to hold space for others, right? Most guys actually, number 3 woman, she can cook or not, it makes no difference. If she meets a number 3 man, it makes no difference. Makes absolutely no difference, right? This woman, why at her home, the toxic aunts and uncles and why they don't live with her, right? This woman at number 3 knows that even at your home and you are the man, listen, there are toxic people, but she gives them whatever, the humility, whatever. She doesn't feel a need to speak or even, comment. Anataba, right? You really want to go for that because that is kindness. She's got her money. 99% of the time, a woman at 3 will choose a guy, or guys at 2 and 3, or 3 guys who are doing well, or even men that are 2s and are making a lot of money. They will want a 3 woman, right? A guy also at 3, Lena, he's very chilled. He's not everybody's friend. You go to his house and he's got a bitch resting face, but he's very dangerous. So number 3, normally twin flames are both divine and karmic at once. Guy number 3, right, will have businesses and whatever, might have a few dodgy, shady dealings here and there. It does happen. It's got nothing to do with their money. It's got to do with how they make their money. But guy number 3 will have a couple of dodgy shadings here, here and there. It doesn't matter, right? But his heart, right? And he can go and do whatever women's conference or not. Like it doesn't matter. He's got a very clear sense of who he is, right? He calls up, checks on you because he loves you, right? Checks up on you because he loves you. Guy number 3 will be very protective, and clearly so. He's not going to lie. He's gonna be protective. So if you go, he wants to know where you are. If he can drive you there, he'll do it. If he'll get his driver to do it because he's got the money or whatever the case, he will do that, right? Now it's no longer like hogatiwa, like how you thought. This guy needs to make sure that you are safe, you are fine, right? And he will extend his everything to becoming the protector, right? He will become God the Father. Literally, he will. Literally, right? And I guess that's where his divine darkness will also come in, because then he will do what he needs to do to make sure that his family has everything that the family needs. It won't always be good, right? He won't be desperate for money because money will be flowing. He'll be in touch with himself. Why? Probably number 3 guy. At some point, he was a number 2 harvesting women's energy. That's why I was talking about number 2s. But going to do that, because they turn out to be 3s for a specific woman, right? He'll have a sense of spirituality. He won't be over spiritual. He will be supportive. right? He's going to be there for you. He's going to understand you. Guy number 3, well, should be the only one. You should cry for things, things in your life. Listen, you can sit there and talk to him. He will understand, but he will also recommend therapy. So he's not going to be your emotional rubbish dump. He'll listen 2 minutes and then suggest and arrange therapy for you, right? So that's how our twin flames go. How does a number 3 guy twin flame turn from divine to karmic? Yes, he does. With us, Badimu only ever look at your becoming identity. With Badimu, you become more and more. You become, right? The same with women number 3. If women number 3 has got some things that she cannot deal with, that she's not worked through, and she gets pulled into a number 2 relationship because, well, and then jump by the fence, is bye-bye. It means that she was number 3, but she still needed to go through the 2 and 3 dating phase, except that women needed financial security again, so she decided to jump for a 3. Makes no difference. Okay, so with our ancestors, there's no he is the one. In the past, I used to get messages like so-and-so is the one, when I'm doing readings. But then I realized that after a while, both the one who got the breakup after I talked to them. And then I realized that Badimu only look at the trajectory that each individual is on. And they can also make a judgment call based off of when a man or a woman, or if you're a woman child, Wabadimu, they can help you choose a partner who is very much on his way to becoming a 3, up and until the point that he stops putting in the work. The moment he stops putting in the work, he's a 2. He's karmic. That's it. So Badimu, they can agree, or no, this is the one for some time. And then, as this person is making certain life choices that your ancestors feel are going to clash with your path, then it becomes karmic. So for men and women, spiritual children, you can have a fight, a physical altercation with your person 2 or 3 times. Badimu, if you have a physical fight, that is strike 1, 2, and 3. Have a physical fight, strike 1, 2, and 3. Yours relationship is on the rocks, according to them. Your first fight, make the fight ugly, yours marriage relationship is on the rocks from that moment onwards. And they don't care how much of the other elements of 3 either one of you is. It's the beginning of the end, according to them. And they can call a man who is a 2 and 3. So normally both 2 and 3s are the guys that we dated, the guys that broke our virginities. Normally they are the ones who are in between 2 and 3. So then they will bring a 2 and 3 guy or girl to come and help you to krekeza this marriage, right? So it is really interesting because they look at your emotional and spiritual trajectory. Where are you going? And if the answer to having a certain woman or a certain man in your life, if the result is that now you, the person that you've chosen, the partner, your partner is going to become the inevitability of your ending. Listen, that relationship is karmic from the time that they make that realization. Okay, I think I'm going to take 1 question. Gosh, 2 questions. Hi, Coco.
Hi, Bella.
Hi, how are you?
I'm getting yourself.
Good. Do you have anything to add to it?
Gaga. I had so much more questions, but it seems like when you were explaining everything, you answered most of my questions. I just want, I can only one question that I think you didn't mention it too much, but I see you were mentioning it, but you never went into deeper into the depth of that question. I just want to find out when it comes to the twin flames and the soulmates, everything. Can a person become a twin flame to a married person?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
happens a lot, right? So in that instance, you the single one, you remember just now I said that it doesn't matter if you and your partner are number threes, right?
Okay.
But Dimbaluna say that you guys are the one and blah blah, you guys are meant to be. Once one of you in the marriage starts to have fights and this and that, and the one is going to become the end of the other, then what amadlozi of the other, let's say your twin flame is married and it's a he, I get.
Yes.
So your man and his wife, they were divine at some point, but either due to the way that they relate to one another or how their energy now has moved into being in their relationship right now, with you entering the equation, is because both of them are out of alignment with each other in that marriage, right? They are no longer soulmates. Badimo ba bona, badimo of your man's wife and badimo ba your man, both realize that these two people are moving on two very different trajectories and they're becoming more and more the number twos to each other.
It makes sense.
So what Badimo will do is they will strike first. Seeing that your man has you, it means his wife, Utsojola.
Okay.
So the wife, Uwila bana le motho on the side, could be more than one, or it's been a lengthy relationship. Why? Probably the wife Utsojola because she and your man hadn't finished their traditional malobolo things. Granted, they decided to live together and them samos are not hlanganisat, no problem. Then your man's ancestors kind of commission you and drag in the twin flame connection between you and him. Why are you there? You are there to remind him that he's got ultimate freedom and that he doesn't need to live under the confines of a marriage to be happy. Why? Because he is in that marriage so that he doesn't lose his money. And that speaks directly against his divine masculine energy. Because a man a man must choose from his heart a woman that will be good for him and not choose to stay in a marriage or a situation because he's afraid to lose his money. Because inevitably he's there, he's with you and he loves you, right? And he's sleeping with you, right?
Yes.
And his wife so why basa share their joint assets?
That's the question that I always answer, ne? Gogo. And to be honest with you, this started as something quite very. I'm just
Yeah.
here for the fun of it,
Yeah.
but it kept on going to a point of, the dreams of, let's see, I'm sleeping and there's a dream that this guy has to, like, his car accident. He recently got an car accident. I saw it first, and my question was that why is your wife didn't see this? Why it was seen by me?
Because you love him and he still loves you. His wife doesn't give a shit. She loves some other nigga. So again, spiritually, you and him are aligned now. So you are here to teach him to choose love over material things. And can I tell you, car accidents are a sign of water spirits. Tse di buang. So maybe his ancestors, ba mo diga so ka koloi gore, but go. Leave your wife who is now a karmic contract. Just go. Because here's the thing, Gogo, let's not even talk about you and him and his wife like maybe you are the third party. It makes no difference, right? If he was fully invested in his marriage and she was also fully invested in their marriage energetically, if these two people were energetically together, None of them would have thought gore ilojola le an outside party. Dating someone just is an admission. It's a spiritual admission to the one who's married to say, I no longer want to be here. I'm taking my energy and I'm moving it to Gogo Blessings, Msamo. That's where I feel at home. So that being said, why is Satamai? He must leave his wife.
Gogo, okay, fine. Let me be honest. To be honest with you, I left him million times, and I've got calls from the wife herself, like, leave my husband. Then I'm saying, but I left him, and I don't want him. But he keeps on coming back. He keeps on coming back. He keeps on coming back, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired here. And every time when he leaves, the dreams will come. I will see him crying. I will see him some certain things being done to him spiritually. I will see those things. So I don't know how to put it. I'm fencing. I try to move, but I'm coming back. I'm trying to move. I'm coming back, and I'm not sure what's the message from my guides, my spirits. Why they keep on when I want to leave, they come back even more to say you want to leave, but look what's happening behind the scene.
No, so to you are giving him the chance to pack up and leave and start afresh because Munna hafetiwi and God will always bless those who come together in love, no matter what. Ne? But to you, he is a lesson on how you share and extend your energy. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Already the fact that he's married, you are judging yourself. You're not taking him as a single guy.
I never did.
Yeah. And of which, if that's the case, that you sometimes need to feel like he's somebody's person, then what you're essentially saying to God, your ancestors, the universe, to all of us, is that you feel that you are not worthy to have someone cherish you and look after you only. You've got to decide now. So either you completely ignore the fact that he's somebody's person and you enjoy having him around. Treat him like a boyfriend with or without that woman. Mosadi o a gona mo a kenang mo relationshiping ya lona. A gona mo a kenang. So maybe some of the reasons why you can't let go is because you're not looking at him as him and you. You are looking at him as somebody's husband. That makes it different because now it means then that even though you love him unconditionally, openly, that thing is somebody's husband, it's like you wanting or loving something that must go away from you.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I keep on chasing him. Sometimes I chase him away. The reason being, Gogone, sometimes I feel like karma will come back. You understand? Sometimes you think of such things. So, what if karma comes back to me? What if I'm doing wrong to that other woman? You understand? I keep on questioning my world because I'm also one of this person. I don't know how to revenge, and I feel like doing such things, it will always come back to me.
No, ma'am. You mustn't consider karma first, right? You are there for him because you love him. Karma ikena kai mo love. Kupa umfe lengwalo la mo Bible ne modimo re kopa lo nyalanang gore ke bone gore you guys le batho ba ka.
Aye.
So don't think of the karma, but you are creating your own karma now by having this whole back and forth and now wanting to judge yourself for something that you want and something that you don't want. You're not quite sure. It feels right but wrong because you are creating a spiritual gap within yourself now to say to yourself and your ancestors, I want what I can't have, right? And I don't feel worthy to have someone that is just for me. So everything, because I believe he's married, he belongs kontlung ela. Everything is for him mola. So it's excluding you now. Munato in this whole thing is, what are you getting out of it? But if you were to say to yourself, let me say it like this: if you were to date a married man, and somehow there's a lesson ya gore o ska ba jola le married men ko ga lona, right? But it's one of, they're gonna give you that lesson, and they'll give you the lesson once that relationship is over.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. They will never give me the dreams now. Rather, I will get the dreams after. Okay.
They want you gore o fetse le moya wa gago. So for now, amlela doche ko ga gage when you want to spend the weekend with him. No doche.
What Dodger? He's communicative. What communicator? What Dodger? Everything. Those things he does them. But sometimes he feel like yo, correct. That respect for that marriage to your point of sometimes getting home and you are doing too much.
For eng ba tso signa kwa ba ikgwagetsa mo pele ga moruti ba bua maka ba le two. Now that oath ya bona ba le two, they don't want to honor it. If they were honoring their oath, nkebe go sena a you and a maninja ninja kakwa. So that oath e robegile already. Aba e senye ba ipele gore o itse king will co-parent re ratane, and then like as co-parents, whatever, ba sharelane dilo and all of those things. You know, Gogo, I'm gonna tell you, like, as an ex-married woman,
Yes, Gogo.
if nkebe ke kreile nyatsi en tlhalefisang ka spita mpero ke doche ke letse go iketsa Popeye ke le khale ke tsamaile. So on the other hand, a you kai is necessary. I was not able to make certain decisions because I maybe wanted well, maybe that's what I needed. And ne ke tshaba le go grama khwapheni ke le setlatla sa mosadi for 14 years. Nkebe ke kreile makhwapheni ke neng batho they've been asking me out ke ikentse Popeye. Nkebe ke tile ka tsavendana lo mong amperesha ba docha motho. Nkebe ke ile. So sometimes you don't think about the relationship between you and him for what it looks like to society. Have your fun with him. Mutsaye as he is, enjoy being with him. Re tlo bua, your friends ba tlo bua. If go na le mekete go ga tsamalene, aba bue gore o tsamale monna motho re tlo thola Gogo. And you will learn through the lesson. If Wena and him can bridge that gap, because you guys are both here to give each other lessons, then y'all will move. But if your ancestors know it won't last, and most of the time, these relationships, they don't last because the point is that this man, Badimbaha presenting him with a choice. If he doesn't choose to be with the woman that he loves, aka you, because that's who he loves, and he chooses to stay for money, he's going to be miserable.
Already he is, to be honest, he is, because of most of the time he's more open when he's around me, but when he's in that house, you can sense it from the phone that this person is just there for this. I'm not sure, for the sake of children, and he doesn't want to be there.
No, then it's a CG so that we are talking about. Hey, Sijiso doesn't have to be Scarafela. If he's in his house and like he doesn't want to be there, and if quote unquote never jola never jola, and in the never ba pretendelane. So yanung if now haba khone gore ba etse yalo o mongwe wa imelwa, someone is overpowering the other more.
It makes sense, Gogo. It makes sense.
Have fun with him, Gogo. It's king Tamael, have fun with him. Kopa rabulla that lady from your mind. Rabulla that whole commitment, because take your relationship with this man like utwasa badimu, utwasa sporofito, utwasa mandao. These things, yes, Jacob and Marasi 21.
I'm going to start having fun shame. I'm not going to. I've been limiting myself for the very longest time. This is our 3rd year, and to be honest, throughout this years, I've been limited myself. I can see limited, but what you just explained to me, whatever is mine will never leave me. Whatever is mine will always find me. So let me go just enjoy the moment.
Yes, and when you have fun with him, you are more likely to attract somebody. Like so Badimba how are going to give him some time to decide if he wants to be with you adoche. If docha and he wants to stay where he's unhappy, being with him and being happy with him is going to call in other men who want you. Because you're not inherently saying there's something wrong with you. You're saying, I'm going out there and I'm here to find my life and I'm here to find myself and I'm experimenting. Ha. And a little ba gore go etsa ba mo etsang ko ntlong ya ge o tswe mo ganyane a ska tlo go sia ka dilo tsa ko ga gagwe, because what he's doing then is that now he feels better, so you're giving him the strength to go back. He mustn't do that. Let him be the boyfriend, you are the girlfriend. Abuye maka, arana musadi.
Mariano, in my it won't be dangerous for somebody can do harm to me. Sometimes what if this woman is dangerous? What if she will do something harmful? Not to him, even to me, because of I just realized that the generation of it is quite very dangerous. We no longer as accepting like before. Our mothers, when they get their husband cheating, it's like, okay, it's fine. Obviously others will start going to Google Lerato to find out another alternative things to make sure their marriage is not going down the drain. So my other concern is that what if I get harmed here? What if?
Okay. It's a valid concern. Here's how you open the portal to being harmed by somebody's husband. By allowing him in detail what's going on in his life. The things that don't make him happy. What you're doing is that you are draining all the negative energy from their marriage, and it remains with you, and he's draining positive energy to go and invest in his marriage. Remember I spoke about both guy number 2 who are between 2 and 3. You are giving him the fuel to continue being a 3 in his house, but he comes ka energy ya 2 ya ko gagage. So if you that's the first thing. If wena and him wena wamlela have fun tlogela dilo tseo mo tlogele o le wa gafa o le tsa moyena, right? If you don't allow him to trauma dump on you, that woman a ka nna ya ko ngakeng, but ngaka will not be able to pinpoint this setlhare se se going in your direction, because setlhare se se senyang se latela energy e ko tlase or negative energy. Where's the negative energy ya high going to? He's dumping it on you.
Perfection. You just answered quite very perfectly. Besides even the relationship part, life itself, your vibration are you a person that is being able to attack or not? If your vibration is lower, but easily to attack you. I always say to this to people like that it depends on your vibration.
Yes, but you must also remember that the things that, like you say, you worry about him and you worry, that worry is still him or motsi wa gagwe, because he's a unit there. The two of them are still pulling on your energy. So don't worry. When he goes home, he's fine. And uska mo founela, aska una le no gore he ba mo just a cabbage today. Even if he does, at an arm's length, tire that wife wa gagwe as his mom. Gore your man o bizu sotlwa ke mama go mo just a cabbage fela le papa. Keep it there. Don't worry about him when he's not with you. You do your life. You do you. If you want, like I'm saying, but I will tell them, use body holy ash to wash and cut off his energy after Maya. Let that be that. He's abusive mom. He's abusive mom.
Let me go out and go enjoy my life alone for a while.
He's at his home there. And then park it there. Go do you, go and enjoy you. I'll feta, klapa ka di holy ash, Let that be that. Build your life. Build what you want to do. Utlabona, even if your ancestors don't want this relationship, you will swerve out of it. You're gonna meet somebody hot kwa ko strateng kwa. O ntse fa o one nyana. Tsamaya kwa o ye kwa lena. Go and have fun with your friends. You will meet somebody who's for you. Then you'll be able to reflect and think, okay, that relationship was draining me or not. You know, if he can make the jump, the point is to make the jump. If he can make the jump, at Amai, there were 2 seats.
Gogo. It's like the honest, it's not like I'm only solely focusing on him, ne? Like tender somewhere. Yes, but one thing I realize about my tenders, ne? Bona ke bana ba sa dulise ba ka mara eno dula dutse. Ba le ba re khotsa nna monate for 2 minutes go ne vara mo bona go ne lavi after 2 minutes go kwa class. And o ke ntse ke re ke go zama go sala ene.
No, contract ya gago, you are not making enough profit energetically to feed to your tenders. So ka go di tendering ha ona massive. Ha ona massive. Go batla capital, go batla massive.
Okay.
Right? So, okay. We're going back to tabayadi cleansings. Have the cleansing rituals. You wash there and then. You do your own therapy session with yourself. You know what? I had fun with this one. Blah, 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 blah. You sit down, you make prayers for yourself, affirmations for yourself. I'm so grateful for all please say his positive energy. You've got to speak well of yourself and of the experience you had with this guy, right? Speak life into that energy that you gave him and then call it back, right? How feta? We play okay, we look on Mar. Now, he's gone home to his mom. Wow. Then you divert your attention to your tenders. What I can tell you is that what tender, the reason why Ibokare Kuba flaky is because you le men he's emotionally dumping a lot of problems onto you. So you immediately want to suss out Mr. Tender for what is your spiritual problem? What is your emotional problem? And about tender stress.
Yeah.
But tender, they're like, no, I didn't problem. I'm a 2 or I'm a 2.5 going to 3. And I think you're very sexy. But 2.5 going to 3, they come up as face value. So I'm to babuta kangatoro kanti ing una le bana ba go ba ikai wa ba maintainer o lo tlo siaro o wa gafa o ka re ke go tswang ko lenyalong ba tinneng ke banna sebaka. But tender, you must treat them exactly opposite. Ole entle ke wa morata but he's mokudi wa hao. You are healing him, but they don't need healing.
Okay.
They must heal you. And about healer yang by showing you their love language, by you getting to know them, by you having fun, by you doing all sorts of things. Gogo pinara ako patali. Ay lena ke bono kare. Adul apatali. O itse keng o kra dilo tse ngata motho. Right? So that's that. Cut that energy afetsa go tsamaya ole and then focus on them. Ao donyetse latabo tender. Latabo tender. Or once you're building your relationship, libo tender, as you are becoming BFFs with these guys. As you are becoming BFFs, as you are following your 90-day rule, having fun, going out for dinners, blah, blah, having lunches, going clubbing. I can push a 90-day rule. Tender who take the weight for Bali. Bali. Bale utsame ka 100 ufike upalamedi kwekwe kopa o ya mole witso thambula gogo tsama o ile thambula kwa o ka nna etsa dilo tsa di chicken no right
o ke mo fetsa ka mmag
ya o right o la aje masalla bo di tender bo tender tsantse be bona bo ile ba thambulela tsa mo thambulela bao.
No problem gogo ke go tlile ene ka go etsa ka moso.
Like your life is so exciting.
It is. I don't want to lie. I live life. I feel life when it has to be lived.
Hi, Sheba. Congratulations. o teng mo tendang bao ke bana bo tendanyana ba i3 mo o teng o ka reng o serious. He's a dark guy, very cute. Ke bona wa di brush or king dark guy o teng. If he's not there what o teng tender o tlo tla batlang gore a go tide sa bo serious, whether it's an engagement or what o teng o tlo tla batla go tender gona mo.
Ma Gogo o kwale ke le foreigner but ene ke ntse ke motshabanyana ke mmona o buang ka eno.
Wa di botse fa motsenyana.
Eh,
Yeah, I,
ratang-
Rona, I see him liking you more than the others. I see him wanting you.
ene ke ntse ke mo avoid.
I go out for dinners, Shem. Olo tlo go emela, e ja tšheltage. Ene o go rata mo. E ja tšheltage. O metsa gantlo ntse mo ghostanyana o itseng e ja tšheltage, right? I feel like more than all the other ones, he feels like he's the one who wants you the most. It's like o tlo go emela.
Ke
Now
number
come
3.
cut. Yeah. And I just see a guy of a got told dark what she's koponyana. I just see him. Dark skin. And I see him, he's got a very puppy-eyed look in his eyes. Utlo go emela ol. Ola se clever ol. Ase clever. O batla mosadi. O batla mosadi. The only thing is, he's unyonya girls the ba ka reng ba rata social life ba papa. So he ground week it's a mmenyana ona le yena. Yeah.
Ene o rata
O
bo
batla mosadi.
let's hang out. Wa shout a gona ke dula ke le ko monateng ke re mara ke ntwe ke rata mosina. Why?
Listen, that guy Uber so o batla go ntsha mandwendwe. O ka nyala wena before ngwa go fela. O lo batla mosadi ole. So I don't know if you want that. If when you don't want to be somebody's wife, I will see it because he's gonna. I just see I see a dog following you. He's that. Wa go rata that guy. Abatle nix.
Ha ke tla lenyalong. A ke ga lempaletse ke gona go tswa go lona. Ke tla.
I ke itse go na le o mongwe wa tendanyana o ka re mo khutshwanenyana wa speeder o ene o ka re tlo kry chelete no di last. I see like a shorter guy. I don't know who that one is.
O light o.
O ka re shorter guy fela ke bona fela shorter guy.
Ene o short o light o na le chelete. Ene ke bone.
O gona le ngwe kena no ka February tle ba khetlhile. So le ene o matumetse o re mo. O le o monate because a khone o ra re he. Mothuso ja chelete o. Ole.
Ke a Pretoria be ke tlang. Ke a Pretoria be ke tlang. Ke a
Yes,
ya.
but.
Ke a ya. Ke a ya.
I love your life so much. Bye, Gogo.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Gogo. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. I think Gogo Blessing is having the time of her life. Hi, Gogo.
Go dumela.
Hi, okay, me.
Thing. I wanted to ask you, right? So let's say someone udulale number one. According to you, that is now your spiritual husband and he's recognized as, one of your star seed, etc. Is it then, automated that little bless you or let's say you stay together? The chances are higher for, that relationship goes well.
Yes, it does. On condition, ya gore you don't pass more than 3 years, 2 years after liba na le ngwana e be le sa nyalane. Ha sa go nyale, badimo ba go automatically shift him and they make him a number 2.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Yeah.
And I can see the number one color that heartbreak. Yeah. So, okay.
That's the thing. So you didn't umufue number 1 azange walata bo number 2 le di heartbreak. Number 1 wa gago was failing to commit and your ancestors abana nako.
Well, he was yeah, well, it's exactly as you said. Ke bona akila Baviera, etc. And then I left him. Yeah, but you are
And that's
right.
okay. That's okay. If you left your number 1, right? Because Lena he was failing to take action. Then we born only above him, but you were above him. Normally, bo number 1, as bo number 1 is like before we go to varsity and all of that. So once o le motho o mogolo and you've got real life issues, and then your number one o dutse le wena but he's not doing what he should, you will feel that you're above him. And yes, you will be above him to run into bo number two.
Okay, well, I was in varsity. Ke be ke mmona gore, oh, I can school. No, I can't. Yeah. Okay.
So yaanong o feletse kae le bo number two? Did you end up getting married to a number two?
I'm not married. Please tell me you see marriage. I'm not.
Marriage is always, always, always on the table for us spiritual people. It's always on the table. Let me ask your ancestors. Okay, little bontshe
Ha
mona.
bo o qeto tsamayang.
But what it feels like somebody who was, I'm hearing time waster. Nkare ke motho o le shano for no reason.
Really?
I'm hearing time waster. I re botse. Lebitso la ntate la morale mahalang, amen. Okay, so you've got a grandmother, and I think this is your mom's mom. Wapere blue, right? Just from the scripture. Wapere blue, this was a strict mom. So she was strict on your mom.
Maybe she passed on Meoka Luminyan, so 13. She doesn't quite remember. But yeah, she's been gone for long. I can imagine again as a man.
Who's the lady who raised your mom? The strict woman. The strict woman.
She's still alive though. Kiki Miwa actually. Her aunt, little sister to the mom. Wow.
Her narcissistic, evil aunt. You.
Really?
Yeah. Like nale bukhali overly, overly bukhali. Let me say it like that. Remember earlier on I said that we speak about, emotional neglect and blah, 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 blah. So this lady nale bukhali. And I'm even getting the sense that if you want kukrale nyalo, take a cake for your mom's aunt. A vanilla cake. I don't know why I'm seeing a vanilla cake.
Really? Okay. Noted.
It's a cake. Umurakele di cold drink. Umlela gore ay ke batla go tsa whatever tebogo ya manyelo e aka. You are like my grandmother as well. Blah 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 blah. Because I see you udutse on her lap and it's like you are brushing her ubualene. It's a cake. Kurata di sweet things. Vanilla cake. It looks like those small Woolies cakes and whatnot. Lidi Kenneth, I cold drink. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Lidi fruits. And then as you're sitting and talking to her, tell her, wait to bata linyalo mar.
Wow. Okay, that may be the key because I'm not even close to her. My mother is close to her. I need to do
I want to get married. O tlo go botsa gore le tlotla. I want to sing 2 months. Someone is going to, is it from someone from your past even? It could be like a person that you never really dated, but someone from your past. Is it feels like
That's
a
why I
divorce?
think it's this recent one. We didn't date long. Yeah. Might
Is
be.
he a divorcee?
No. There's someone who's a divorcee. I don't want that man back. But you must get it.
I was about to snacksy. Let that be that. Let me ask your ancestors. Who will come into her life? Lebitso la ntate la morale mahelang, amen. Ke yena ya o tshwarelang melato ya hao kaofela. Ke yena ya o fodisang. Okay, so now I'm seeing like a piece ya nama. So this has got to do with your dad or your dad's family. So you've given something to your mom and your dad's people. Ke bona o tshwere like a whole serope sa nku, but it doesn't feel like you want to physically go ko habo ntate wa hao to give it to them.
Oh my gosh. I haven't been to my childhood home. And Meoka and Tatuaka are divorced. So they built a home. Go Tatuaka Hulitsin Kote. I haven't been back home for years. Wow.
Is your dad alive?
Yeah, he is. He lives there.
Kopa o misetse serope sa nku hle.
Kontung ele, ke boelle kwale. They're challenging me to go back.
Misetse isetsa nkgono le that cake and then your home, your dad's. How many ke serope se o ka re wa sisa but ha o batle. So
Oh my gosh. Ha ke batla ho boela kwale. I don't know. Yeah, I need to go back.
just
This is the part.
yeah, forgive him.
Ne?
Let the guys that you get, as about two ba re nyedisa mo ba re ntshang ka di festere. Wena o ka re ko wena two, wena o ka re wa ba Kwena o ka re wa ba vuruvaya, so o ka re bua tshwara ka melalo wa re wena hey.
Oh, Gogo, Nakitwa with the two who abused me. That was 7 years ago. So I've never, yeah, I'm from that. Maybe that's a lesson I learned with a two. But nah, I
No,
get.
go tell your dad, I just feel to do this for you. And I'm even seeing his mama tlapa matsogo. Mo
Oh,
isetse
she'd be very
seromo.
happy. She loved me. Okay.
Yeah. Mo
Ke
isetse
boleletse
nama
hore-
and just stay there. I know it's a bit awkward, but mo isetse nip ya bojwala o mmolelle gore I'm giving to you o phahle mo o itse keng dilo tsa ka di phuthuloge, and you must forgive him.
I must forgive him. Ne?
Your man is going to come. You wanna like a guy marching into your life, literally. So I don't think it's gonna be. Will it be? It's gonna be before June. June, I'm seeing an offer. It almost feels like two men coming at once who really, really want you.
Ooh, I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like two men that really want you, and it's going to be like almost Bali too. So oh, you wanna dodge.
And I think I know which one. Okay. So the challenges go back go geno. Ke a bua le ntate wa ka, the only things that I don't go back home there. Ha ke rate. I'm gonna go take him meat. Ga nwe bojalwa, so I'm not going to do that. But take meat. And then ke koko Alex ke mo fe cake. Okay. And then June ke tlo bua ko wena koko. Ba bue batho.
Le nna ke a batla go utlwa, but I,
Well, I've
I,
done the
I see you.
self-work.
O ka re wa jefa, o ka re o ko Saints.
Oh,
O ka re you're
please.
having a lot of fun ko Saints. So it's gonna be two guys who really go tjho gore wena if o tsamaya ko bo Saints o phela life ya snigity se serious. So
Bang Wisitse Badimu said to me, "You are down from November nje kya goa." So I'm doing the work now, doing the work. But I know it'll bore that life, as you say. Yeah. Amen.
amen. Go tlo loka go itse keng go tlo loka ska wa re go tlo ba wena ebile ai. O go tjho gore o bale who are destined to date rich men. O itse keng.
I think so.
I think so too. I think so too. And your dad, how come a lot of even your spiritual things, your mom's aunt, Mrs. that cake and
Because
done.
my father loves me. He
June,
loves me. He loves me, my father.
yeah.
So it makes sense. Okay, I needed this. Malebo Gogo, you don't know. Ko botse ke tsotsi. Ke kene mo ke re, "A itse di reading." Mara ke re ke rwale tuku ya ke white. O tlo mo
Yeah, at
bala.
least
A she foul.
Linda, when I can choose, okay, it's a little botsanyana 2 minutes. I look for what do I have to say?
Bless you,
Le batla
Gogo.
gore we must get to the part ke le botse cha. And Linda ke ipeile gantle.
Bless you, bless you. So you see, go jaivanyana by before year end, a bit of happiness. It's been a very tough couple of months.
No, June. June, you're gonna start to come back. Like I'm saying, June, you're gonna start to come back. And I see two people, two men specifically, who are gonna, and one of them is from your past. And I'm seeing this guy into like a cap. Garus duta into like a cap. O batla go go fa tšhelete.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that guy is a drunk or what. I don't know if he's got an an alcohol issue. But this guy, o ka re o na le tšhelete, o ka re wa tagwa fela, but he likes you.
PC doesn't have an alcohol problem, but he's got spiritual things. We'll
Ke wa
see.
jive because I see him dancing, so I thought it's an alcohol problem. Ke bona
Maybe
motho o jive, o ka re go phela go
the
le monate.
business. Yeah, maybe that's the business season. Yeah, brand stuff. He owns a marketing firm. So where some
Wow.
perhaps that's him.
I feel like that's him because I feel like you and him have been on and off. O ka re you guys are
Yes.
highly to what you guys are trying
We're
to
off
do.
now.
Nini.
Chile now.
Yeah.
So ke a rapela nna ngwana modimo, ke a bala, o ntshile. So let's see. But I love it. I love
Yes,
it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's a lot that you guys have in common.
We do.
O ka re la hlanyanyana le dithu, yeah. There's a lot that you guys have in common.
No, ndampile ka December, so I've been going. But I've got a feeling he'll come back.
He is going to come back.
Amen.
He is going to come back. He's so closely tied with that meat. Yeah, your dad.
Yes. Yes, yes. Oh, you get accurate really too. Look, you see.
Bona, nama, tsa mo reka. He's tied with that situation. And that's why o ka re ha o kgone mo tshwara mo kry-e gantle.
I
O ka re
can't.
o go tswa mo menwaneng, that guy.
It's like, what? That doesn't make sense. Everything ticks. Everything ticks. No, great. And I feel like there's a thing, there's a thing at the back of my mind that keeps saying, but what are you going to give? But why look at you now at what you're saying? What are you going to sacrifice? What are you going to sacrifice? Now you're telling me, it's like, this shadow work, you're healing my inner child and go to that house. Give him that work at this and stop meeting him outside of home.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy Shem, it's king. If there's one thing, I don't know, maybe like you said, it's because Banyana ba mole le mole le mole le mole. He's had a very spicy life, but
he has, but very grounded because he's done the work.
yes,
Spiritually grounded. He's the first man I've dated Mudimu and all that. So for me, I feel like this is my life partner. I really hope so. Because Lintwere breakup thing is very stupid. So yeah, just suddenly.
I never go tell ka ditaele, but it doesn't matter. Ska war. O batla go tella ka ditaele.
Yeah, actually really kisanama. Nkutlwa ke reng, tata ko tlo thaba for to see me.
O mo jetso ke batla o mmolela gore o itse keng ha o le busy le go gana mai. Mokgwenyana ga go mang Tebogo o mo nkopele yena mo. O tla bona that guy will marry you.
Ne papa wa rapela okay. Amen. Thank you, Blessing. I love this woman power. Kanya Lesedi Gogo, God bless you and your beautiful spirit. Hope you have a beautiful year.
Thank you, Gogo. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Bye. How do we drop?
I don't know.
I don't know how we disconnect. Guys, how do we? Blessing, I'll invite you to my wedding, but your kids are young. Hey. Guys, please tell me. I've never been on a live. Gogo's the first live I'm on.
Lena, I Gogo.
Disconnect. Okay, bye-bye, Gogo. God bless you. Okay.
Thank you. Love and light. Bye.
Light.
I think I'm going to take one person. Ke batla Gogo Mpeo yo one stressor. 8 years. 8 years Gogo Mpeo. Like, I want us to just go through how you went through that 8 years. You know what, Gogo Mpeo? They're saying to me that you've had they're saying to me that it's already copy. That 8 years away bona. You didn't even feel that 8 years because you were so deeply hurt. I wanted to talk to you. Kutlwa gore o reng. Ke re bue about this 8 years because wow. Yeah, it's not on. Thokozani Makhetla. How are you, my friend?
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Yes, I haven't spoken to you in the new year. Happy New Year. Compliments of the new season.
Thank you. Gogo, happy new year. And then I think Romelandi message and then I was like, okay, we're gonna talk.
I tried talking to you yesterday, but I got disturbed Khanyani. Then today I'm like, oh, she's on a live. Okay, let me just go and say hi.
Hi, le nna ke go bolele no ntle ke nna go bua nnete ke a kula o itse keng ke a kula ke a bona fela gore bophelo ba ka bo tsamaye the way ke batlang so that's why I'm not talking to anyone. Ke na le stress sa tšhelete ba re ba tlo nkuba mo ke dulang dilo tse ke di etsang ako. The other day, Gogo, I was telling Vadibu, lazy king, le mo jolo a go batle ke batla tšhelete suka landlord ya ke tlo nkuba mo ke batle next ko pa le gaoganeng le nna o itse a sa batla next o itse like bona di track tse di koletse tsa tšhelete di shina me mo pila di ATM o kre o ka re nka kena ka mo I'm thinking drastic things now ke na ntse drastic.
You know, I was saying to this other Gogo the other time, you know, Modimo le badimo ba makatsa at times.
Yeah.
There are people, they don't even hustle or struggle ka tšhelete. Money just literally flows in. It comes in mysterious ways, in ways that they never even thought it would reach them.
Like when I just woke up and I found 10,000 in my account, and I'm like, okay, fine. Like, so how because of like 2025.
Like,
Na ke na le stress man, see one fela mara it's thinking I cannot se bua mo TikTok.
okay. I thought so. I thought so. I just wanted to say hi.
No,
It's,
it's a high. Some of the things has it, some of TikTok. No, thank you.
yes.
I'll holla
Yes.
you
But I'm
on
just
the
glad. Are
side.
you back on TikTok, Gogo?
I think
Are you
there's
back?
just Kitobo.
Boo, what you mean?
Not like no. Ever since we've spoken, I am not yet back. I was still taking in the year as it started because to me, I was very emotional when the year started. My emotions were just all over the place. I was a crybaby, but I think I'm fine now.
Okay, let me tell everyone on this live. Mkhulu Badimo o etsa diporofeto and it's a serious. Ke ile ka kry-a reading last year mo. So now we ile that's when I got my gap to come here. Re mo emetse, she must come back. Gore she does it. Kana, when did you do it on Wednesdays?
I used to do it on a daily basis. On Wednesdays, I normally go live in Malivo. That's where normally I would be on a live doing readings. But on my live, it's been a while. It's been a long, long time. I do literally miss going back on a live. It's just that
Please come back.
Harili batho ba moya, because of the spiritual side, yeah, profito. Most of
Yes.
the time, on the roller coaster emotions because of we
Yeah.
absorb so many energies from people most of the time. So the emotions, suddenly they are just all over the place. Our minds are all over the place. So at the same time, I need to balance myself and disconnect myself from a whole lot of things because of if I'm emotionally imbalanced because of so many energies, it's going to be difficult for me to be able to draw energy from the next person to be able to see what's going on with them. So I wanted to start the year really. I think being in love also helps.
Yeah.
Also, it grounds me, it helps. But yeah, I think it's the new year. I'm literally looking forward to going back into it.
We need you back because you're brilliant. And I always say this to you. You are very good at what you do. And please keep staying in love. And Utamorona, Badimo, she's very strict on her lives. But we are here in Zintoyako, so please come
You
back.
know, it's quite amazing that with Banaba Moya that I normally tell you that I've helped. When we first met, they were literally so terrified of me. But because of the journey that we have walked, it's different because of they get to see man. I don't bite. I'm the nicest person. I think because of Banna Bagolo, they make me to be this person that some people they get to be scared of me because of Bana Letsela, they want things to be done and they are so strict. That's one thing that I keep on kabon. But
I love that about you. I actually love that. That was what made me go into the live. I was like,
really,
Koko ke a mo itse, yeah, ka re o the le bogale. Batho ba moya ba bogale ka ra o ke kobela o re tlo utlwa dilo tsa nnete. And I was literally lucky. So that's what makes you who you are. So fall in love with your romanya fit.
no, Bona, like since like like I've started with a couple of them already because of it's the new year. People banally this tendency of when it's the festive season, people go komagayeng, they celebrate, and I keep moya. Remember, already I'm in your life, but some of them, or I would say majority of them in here, but they
That's
need
true.
to remove some energies tse di ba aparetseng right now. There are those particularly who are desperately looking for jobs. There's someone, I think it's 2 or 3 of them, they are desperately looking for jobs, but they are not aware that there's these energies tse di ba aparetseng tse leng gore they are not good, and now because of that they won't even get to where they want to go. So like batho ba tletseng ka mo bongata ba bona, I would say they just need to cleanse themselves, cleanse their auras ba ikemolle because of akena nako telele ke kene ka mo, but go hectic. There's so many spirits that are hovering mo maphelong a batho right now.
Okay. Can you promise us a live tomorrow, Rick?
Not tomorrow.
What's up?
There's a minor thing that I need to sort out, but I will definitely come.
When can you promise us a live? It's over on your platform.
Today. What's the day? Is it? I don't even know the
Okay.
days of the week. Kupaskela blame. I don't. What's the day today? Ke Mantaga.
It's Saturday today. What do you want to do? If you want, you could tell me who you want. Or it's a king. I don't know. I could make you a moderator and you o bue le bona ge. Nna ka tata nna ke tlo dula ke tsibele incense o profite batho.
Like, isn't now and then? Like, like the amazing thing is energy yaka just shifted the minute I got into the life. I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, let me just go and say hi and leave. But Norman, the way I came in here,
Wa imela no.
yeah, well, like so many energies which are not good for the progresses and the successes. It's like 2025, it's a good year. It's a year that comes with so much blessings. But there are certain things that look like they need to. They have spiritual king, the ties, the boyfriends, the exes. So everything that I'm saying, it's things that they are telling me. People need to deal with these things for them to be able to see success. They need to understand you can never offer all these beautiful things in your dreams, but they need to get into your hands. You need to touch them. You need to live them. You need to see manifesting them in your day-to-day life. This is the year for them.
Nna ke kopa profito re bolelle hore re etse no or in or re drop mo o ile etsa live no re tle. Now that's what I want to know. Kopa o ngwale le your page re tle. O ska re etsa ka o re akaretse o re bolella in general. We want to hear.
Like on
When
one of
are you
my,
available? We want to come.
I can promise to be on a live on a Sunday afternoon. That one is a promise. I'll be on a live.
What time?
From around 4, but I will try to make it. It's on my 4. 4 o'clock. I will be on a live on TikTok.
Okay, just write us your live page name. Y'all know la utlwa ke let's get la I'm not hooking y'all up. La bana ke bile re mkhulu bogale and she's good. Profito sa ge dia boy. Kopa a re ngwale her page please. Tomorrow ka 4 le counseling and re mo fe di gifts.
And then please, can they please follow me? Like, following. Like, that's the only thing that, because of now, when I'm on a live, I don't make people pay. I know people, they say, send me gifts, send me this much of money for the readings. I don't do that. When I'm on a live and I do readings, I just do them. And Mari, why when I go lat?
Nna ke phela ke kolota dilati koko. Nna ke phela ke kolota. Ha seng ke ntse dikuku last week.
Oh man. When the kuku?
Ke ntse dikuku le tee last week. Nna ke a fana. Wait, nna ke phela ke fana stro.
Una le lat eno sentse lo ira go kae go lo batleng?
Etlhebo ba re ke lo etsa yang ko lewatleng mkhulu wa bona wa qala no. Ke lo etsa yang ko lewatleng ka eng?
It's like they're saying to me, you need to go to recharge yourself.
Yeah.
O lo phagamisa matla a semoya.
Yeah.
Go na le lenyeloi or manyeloi e tshwantseng o lo wa phagamisa o lo wa tsosolosa botjha. And you start batho thoma ba bereka all over again. I like you saying, they say you're moving, they want to kick you out, this and this and that, but you need to something that can literally connect you with water, with your white candles, just to remember because
I started Maobane. I started yesterday ka dithapelo, so I ke etsa lati like on one day. I'll do dithapelo for 7 days, 10 days, and then on the 7th day, we'll connect lati. So I started with that yesterday, and it didn't start on a good note. So ke decided to collect until my kids are gone, and I'll start
doing that. I think like you could go and visit King man to connect le manyelo ya hao a mangata a semoya. There's dimensions that they need to be unlocked, but along the way I would say ba bang ba ile ba tsamaya ba kgathala, some go iragala dilo tse leng gore I would say gore di ne di block some of your energies, so they need you to fix that so that your portal can be literally fully opened. And then utobona after that how you would be connecting to the spirit, it's going to be on another level.
Okay, ke tla go botsa potso engwe ko thoko ka gore ke na koloi for now, so go na motho ke batla go botsa gore a nkgape and I can't.
It's like nkare ba re ke go gopotsa gore you have so much connections with the water bodies, a lot.
That's true.
And it feels like now you are a bit distant or you've drifted apart from that. So they want you to go and recharge that all over again, so that you can be able to unblock this portal. It's what healing because of so much pain that you carried and you are still carrying in your heart. You need to heal a lot, so that your spiritual and your king semoya se profito sa hao se kgone go function the way it used to.
And aba re ke kgale ba go bolela ka before Christmas.
Before
so go tshwara must go again.
They are taking me back. They are taking me back to, it's like they want me to remind you, Hore, when you started, how energy used to flow in you, how life used to flow in you because of you were lighter. You were like you were free spirited, you were in a more happier space, and you were more content with a whole lot of things. You were doing very well. You understand that? So now they want you to try to go back. They want to recharge, but so say there's a certain part of you, it feels dead in you. It's like you are dead.
But for now, that part, because it's got to do with things that I can't control. I've decided because I don't know how to fix it. So I believe the answer would be now and then.
You know what?
That's the only thing that I do.
You know what they want you to do? They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to heal. That if you have to go back there, don't go back to say, how do I fix it? It's you saying, okay, fine, recharge me, renew me, make me whole, and you start going and just fly.
Okay.
If you can deal with that and heal from that, your emotions are, I'm even trying to breathe. I'm even trying to breathe because of where they want to take you. It's like, we can't.
Okay.
I said I just came here to greet you and say hi.
I'm gonna come as a patient tomorrow and I'm gonna harass you now after my life.
I was telling my partner about you. Something in me like like for real like when I talk to her you feel so much energy and it's quite amazing. And more one thing that I want to say to you is you excel well, Musimoye. The site there's profit, that's where you excel. It's like your gift, the core of it, mostly. If you would have bana ba moya ba kena ba batla go phamisa moya o ba etsa ditshebeletso tsa teng o ba kenya dibata o ba etsa dilatu o etsa ditafole ditšheso, you are gonna excel in that because of I see mosadi mogolo like she's on this side and she's quiet and she's smiling because of I think probably I'm saying the things that you needed to hear. And then monna mogolo ka mo like it's about time that someone told her, you know how much they love you. They love you. You know, Nkgono Khandale Mbube, it's like bona hana le stress.
No, she's never stressed
Your
at all.
grandmother, she loves you so much. She loves you so much, and she doesn't want you to feel hori because of now. This is the route you have to take. Ufilo hori now she's gonna be left behind. Li
Yeah.
whatever mmereko wa gagwe. It's like she's saying to you, now it's time. You served me, and I'm bowing out. But bowing out ke thabile because of you have done what I have asked you to do, and you remained faithful and constant in it.
No, ask her no yalo because she told me this kind of November kara. Akona mo yang ko yem.
She's not literally leaving you. She will be there, but just sitting there. She's a re ko bolelle gore do not beat yourself up about the things that has happened. You literally had to go through them, and you are okay. You are going to be fine. Tsela ko pele, it's so bright. It's so beautiful. You just need to let go.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need to let go and literally be gore o tswelle pele doing mmereko wa hao wa semoya, because of you excel in that a lot. You excel in that a lot. So she wanted me to tell you that gore, she's not leaving you. She will be there. It's like nako ya gagwe with you.
I
It's
know.
up.
Yeah.
It's done. You just
Yeah, I
needed
know.
you just needed to go and do that for a certain period of time. The period is done. You have done it, and it will never come back again to say, hey Ghana, you have to go back. No. Even in the generations, even in your kids, it will never come back because of you have done your part. You have fixed that part of it, and they are happy. So
I think
like already.
and ke yana ntse ke mo dotcha gore my grandfather o itse keng ke yana motho a di metsi le di latileng le. I'm sure ke yana di lati ya go no e bona, but I've been avoiding that. Ke itse for now ke tla etsa dithapelo and see to get myself together. But not but I hear it 150%. And I know Kukwaka Naimitsuri must come.
Your grandfather associates more. I see a white horse coming outside of an ocean. So I think that's why they want you to go there, Uirelati, and just reconnect all over again.
Okay. Mukupe or no kita mukupan. Hore anzame. I think akanzama. I think kitaya, but I've got questions. Kotla ka usane gogo ka tuku ya ka e white. Ka re bube mo o thuse le ba bang o itse keng. Nna ke batla tjhelete. I want to go to the sea. I'm pay on.
Once we can start working, and when I say start working, work with, don't hold anything. Let everything go. As much as it can be very hard, let everything go. As Koko are even le ha no tsamaya mo tseleng o bona gore o rile diphoso, are forgive yourself from certain things. Let go of those things.
Yeah.
Let go of everything. Yeah. It's like you were learning. So now in your lessons, you learned, but let it go. They made you a person that you are today, a very strong woman. She's very gifted. Mo dilong tsa semoya. So now you need to be able to pass that to bana ba bang ba semoya and grow them. That is what they are asking from you. It's been a while. Probably for the river cleansings. Go there.
I actually haven't done it since I got to Joburg because I used to get kremeti, but I think I know exactly where to take them.
Yeah.
Ke tla ya ko metsing, I'll do the river cleansings. I had a seminar ka di 7th December. I got a message Kuku says every quarter now, so I'll arrange.
Yeah. So now, why ba tlhokang go tlhapisiwa mo ba imetsweng ba nang le di spiritual ties, ba sa kgoneng go tlogela di-boyfriend tsa bona. Some of them, they have so many blockages. E tletse ka batho ba semoya ba bangata ba bona also in here. So now, it's time for them, ba tsamaye ba lo booka for the river cleansing. They should come, ba tsamaye ba lo tlhapisiwa, ba imologe. And as you, the word of God says, lentswe la Modimo is a two-edged sword. Le tlhaba ka mo lekana.
Yes.
What does that mean? It means that as you continue healing other people, you are healing yourself. So the sword does not be from the front only. It also to the back. So meaning that as you busy helping other people, you are healing yourself. You are literally setting yourself free. Like it's most of the like your lack, like your finances and other things. It's because of miracle or wasimoya. You are not fully into it.
You know, it's not what I'm not into it. I think for the bulk of 2024, and it was after a nasty intervention from my ancestors. They actually just stopped all the work. But I was physically very sick. And it was because I needed to align myself back to Merokwaka. So what Kuku said was that for Rona, you are an employee. So you need to look like Mutho Oberekelang Badimo. And now slowly, makeup, I'm slowly coming out again. Get at the shows, get at this, get at that, because I'm aware that I need to come back to what I do 150%.
Yes, that's what they want.
Yeah. So
that is what
I'm on the way. Ke a bona gore ya look. Nkebe go ya ka bone, ne ke tla etsa seminar every week and all of that, but I'm slowly coming back to what they want.
That is literally
so
what they
much.
want from you. She's smiling like, oh my word. Even tears when it's not sadness, she's happy. You literally come a long way.
Yeah, that's why it's a deep breath. I think the love between my grandmother and I is
amazing.
On another level.
It's literally amazing. She loves sweets.
Yeah, it's even after the seminar,
What are these sweets?
Khadija, and I'm gonna be what she wants. I know what she's saying. Even through you now, I know exactly what she's saying. I know.
So probably that's why I came in, because of she just wanted me to say that to you.
She wanted me to hear it from someone else.
For you
because
to
I can and mawane ne ke le busy ke rasa ne ke ba kenyeditse meeting o mongwe hote gampe. So she wanted me to hear it from someone else.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah. I will.
That's one thing that they want you to know. You are going to be fine. Even raising your kids, she's saying that don't even worry how are you going to do certain things. They are there for a reason. They are going to help you with that. That's what she's saying. Because of you worry also about that.
Yes, a lot. I've actually told them I want my kids, period. But I think no, as much as they're not living Linna, give for back. I think Kuku bator ke phagamise di tente kaofela and the rest we'll see.
That's why they are saying don't fix anything. Don't try to fix. Don't try to come up with ways. Don't sit and think, oh, how am I going to be able to do this and bring my kids back? Don't do that. Because of now they know how are they going to bring everything back together again. You just have to focus on them and their work, and then things will just unfold.
Okay, I'll do that. Get latsaya nako. And hopefully just get a holiday, because Gogo, it was a deep dark hole. So recovery, yaga, is, it literally needs to happen in stages. If Kisasha last year, I don't
You
think I
won't
will.
die. You won't die because of you needed the strength for where you are going. Because remember, some of Banaba Moya Batlotlang Kowena, they would find themselves in the very same deep dark holes. You'll have to help them to come out of them. And live life. Be happy.
I'm gonna do it.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. So much. I'm gonna save this live for me for this part. And it gets a crop and listen to it all the time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for I'm out.
Ai, le nna ke lo robala ke felletswe le nna, o itse keng? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mkhulu. Thank you to all. Go tjho gore this year go tla berekiwa, ne? La utlwa nos, la utlwa. We'll work this year. Thank you to you all. Let's have a great night. See you guys got Tuesday. Love and light.
Bye.
Bye.
Do I have